Welcome to yet another episode of Campus Care Ed Talks. Ed Talks is a platform where educators and leaders come on board and express their viewpoints on a particular topic. And our topic for discussion is, should mother tongue be the medium of instruction in schools? And to express their viewpoints on the same, we have with us Miss Jayashree Venkateshwaram, Principal of SNBP International School CBSC. A very warm welcome to you, ma'am. So good to have you here. Thank you so much for taking out your precious time.
Thank you for inviting me here.
Absolutely, ma'am. Ma'am, so to start off with the session, I would like to ask the very first question to you is, learning about a culture and other subjects in foreign language can lead to confusion and lack of clarity. Do you agree with this?
Absolutely agree. Absolutely, I agree. Because uh, language is actually the soul of the culture. And if I'm not able to express my culture in my own language, I would actually alienating and not doing justice to the culture. So it's so true.
Absolutely, ma'am. So, ma'am, it's like learning about the culture and if what we have imbibed as a infant grows into a particular language, he learns. He's the person who's listening to it every day, and now every single word is in their own mother tongue. And all of a sudden, that goes to a school and have another foreign language which may or may not be used at home, more frequently. So again, it is acting as a foreign language for every student. So coming to another,
Absolutely.
yes, ma'am.
Totally agreed. Yeah, so basically, I think languages are best learned in the sequence of listening, speaking, reading, and writing. This is a sequence that gets followed, that is to be followed when you learn a language. Whereas when children get into schools, more often than not, they are introduced the alphabets directly when you talk about English. So they are directly introduced to alphabets, and not often, like I'm sure quite a few parents don't subscribe for newspapers in English. So even that familiarity is not there. So having said that, children do experience a lot of hiccups during their formative years.
Absolutely, ma'am. So, ma'am, according to a survey by Oxford University, children learning through their mother tongue can outperform children having a foreign language as the medium of instruction, as in comparison. So, in light of mother tongue and not in the same language, so, ma'am, what do you prefer?
Absolutely correct. Actually, when children, like I said, children learn best when they learn in their mother tongue. So, having said that, the effort that is required to learn difficult concepts is much reduced when children learn in their own mother tongue. But having said that, how practical it is going to be for schools in India to support this cause of mother tongue. Okay, because culture changes every 500 meters in our country. So, having said that, there are 120 mother tongues, okay, with so many dialects. So, having said that, can school cater to so many mother tongues? Could be the next question. So while we totally agree to the fact that children learn better, learn faster, are more confident when it comes to expressing themselves in their own mother tongue, the familiarity that they have, the language that they have known all time through to express themselves. But the fact remains that how practical it shall be for us to implement this.
Absolutely, ma'am. Like you said, we are the country of varied culture and heritage and various languages. 120 or 220, something like that. You've said and quoted. You so exactly every 5 centimeters we change with another culture or language. So it's difficult sometimes. But yes, ma'am. Bringing to another question is, what are the advantages of teaching in the mother tongue? Does it improve one's concepts, and is there anything that helps into that bilingual state of learning?
Absolutely. I think once you learn in your mother tongue, you learn faster because it's a language that you have always been comfortable in. The concept clarity is definitely better. Clarity of understanding improves. Clarity of expression improves. Um, the time taken for understanding also is greatly reduced because the child does not have to constantly translate whatever is being heard into the mother tongue to imbibe and understand better. So all time, I think teaching in mother tongue is possibly one of the best things that could happen. But how we are able to do it is going to be a big question.
Absolutely, ma'am. So, ma'am,
And there is another aspect, yeah, and another aspect, like in a controlled environment, it's more like a controlled environment. Right? Okay, let me take a utopian school, okay, which manages to do this in the best manner possible. But is the outer world going to accept this? Like with the kind of migratory population that we have in our country, a child moves from one state to other state. Will the child be able to adapt and accept a totally alien environment? Is another question that we may have to answer here.
absolutely, ma'am. So, ma'am, are there any disadvantages of mother tongue as a medium of instruction in schools? Like you mentioned, that whether it will be helpful or whether they'll be alienated to the entire way of learning and understanding. So, ma'am, bringing into another question is just to have the disadvantages of mother tongue. So, where I believe there are a lot of students who are not comfortable, with the foreign language that has been introduced to you. In any form, maybe there is a difficulty with them, or maybe there's some sort of understanding issue, or something xyz. So mother tongue coming, so ma'am, there are even if we go back to our times, there were times when there were certain things that we don't understand, in a proper technical language, but then our mother used to simplify it and give us it in a layman's language, wherein we were able to understand that better, and that creativity creeps in the moment we get into that understanding of what exactly are we looking at, learning at, or trying to understand. So similarly, if we have the advantages of having it in the mother tongue, which will result in giving us a better understanding of everything, so are there any disadvantages also as a medium of instructions in schools?
See, mother tongue, like I said, I mean, there is no denying of the fact that mother tongue possibly can be the best instructional language for a child. Uh, it enables the child to understand better. The child feels at home, has no inhibitions to expressing himself in this language. But having said that, the disadvantage that I see is he is comfortable in that particular environment. If he is moved out of that environment, he is going to feel all the more miserable. His adaptability skills, which I greatly advocate, I greatly speak about because I find him absolutely brilliant in that adaptability. But if I try to do this, his adaptability is going to be challenged to a great extent. There is another major issue here. When we are talking about foreign language, I feel referring to English because English is a foreign language to us. But having said that, maximum literature is available only in English. There are not as many comics, Amachitra Katha tales, Jataka tales, Panchatantra tales. Pick up any childhood, any storybooks related to children. I'm sure. So the children are going to be, if I were to introduce everything in mother tongue and alienate the child from this language, which has such an amazing resource, then I am somewhere curtailing the child's exposure to a great wealth of resource. I think we all grew up. I had an advantage or a disadvantage. I am a South Indian, born and raised in Gujarat. So there was no way in which I could have learned Tamil in Gujarat. So I was forced to learn Gujarati. But then today I can proudly state that I have learned six languages purely because I was raised in a different environment, and it has in no way affected my persona, or I see that as so much of an advantage.
Wow, ma'am, to have a command over six dialects is something, you can change things around, and you can easily, so people would be scared, I will believe, if somebody who's talking, you can easily understand, and people will be awestruck by the fact, excuse me, she knows this as well. So how are we supposed to be talking if there are times when people, get awestruck or off guarded. So, ma'am, do you
Of
think and do you consider the idea of bilingual language a better approach, or should we just continue with the mother tongue? Like, I mean, you would be the best person to tell us, should we continue with the mother tongue or have a bilingual language or medium of instructions in school? Since you have grown up, listening to and understanding, I hope listening, understanding, and writing six different languages.
See, yeah, I totally advocate not bilingual, in fact, multilingual. And God willing, it should be at least minimum, because a child, and in an Indian context, a child grows up listening to not less than three languages in India. Okay, I think mother tongue for certain. There is a language in the neighborhood that happens. Okay, so, and then Bollywood has had a great influence. So Hindi for certain. So I think, and then English, because whether we like it or not, okay, the fact remains that English has got ingrained in every language of India. Even while you are speaking your own mother tongue, I'm sure you use one or two words in English inadvertently, and it is accepted. So I feel it will be a fake approach. It will be totally as if, I suddenly realize that I have got English into my system. I want it to get out of my system. Wouldn't work. Today, I am expecting a better reach on YouTube, primarily because I am speaking a language of majority of people who are educated. It is unfortunate. I am not advocating, though I am actually a student of English myself. But I think there was one speaker whom I heard, and I felt so bad that if this were to be the fate of our country, then I should be promoting local languages. But it was he who had to say that if we don't promote regional languages, then somewhere down 20 years, we may stop getting called a country with multilingual, where multiple languages are present. We shall become just an English-speaking country, and I'm sure, heart of hearts, nobody is going to like it. We want our country to maintain its multicultural approach, multilingual approach, and the diversity being part of our identity.
Absolutely, ma'am. So obviously, even I would, advocate the fact that you should have a multilingual culture to every school system, wherein you're not only learning your mother tongue, but also learning a language which will have a survival of its own in terms of whichever career you're choosing, whichever you should have a adaptability to each environment that you are put to sit in. It is just like you should have that ability. So, for example, you have six languages in your kitty to learn, and you know what, you could be one of the lucky persons who would have this pleasure of learning six different languages and understanding six different dialects. So so for me, you understand six different emotions of six different people, six different communities. So it is just like it's a added benefit and a added advantage, wherein okay, one should be a mother tongue. Any region, any area of India, if you go into, like you said, there are languages that is changing within the diameters and within the boundaries the moment you walk a little farther from your own state. So it is like, mother tongue, of course, wherever you are, mother tongue is one of the first language that anybody should understand and is obviously growing up with that. The second could be the universal language, English. We should accept it or not, English has become the universal language, wherein every word, everything that you have to understand comes and with a better explanation in Hindi, oh sorry, English. So every community that you sit with has one common language, which is English. So apart from that, you have to have different other languages which could impart a better knowledge and a better space, whenever you're heading out towards a competitive environment. So multilingual language, and like you said, we should never leave the essence. So I am pretty sure no matter 10 years down the line how modern we are, our schools are coming up with one language in common, which is mother tongue. Wherever you are, like you said, being a South Indian, you were supposed to be learning Gujarati as a language since you were into that state. So that's the beauty of India, I suppose. That's how beautiful India has weaved all its citizens into a fact wherein everybody, no matter which background, family background they're coming up with, but if you come by the geographical boundaries of it, you are abiding by the language it's spoken by. Right, ma'am?
Absolutely, absolutely. Well said.
So with this thought, I will be so again talking about, so it's finding positive in every situation that we can talk about. So India is one state, one country, wherein it is weaving all its citizens to a fact wherein no matter what your geographical boundaries are or your family backgrounds are, you are being weaved into a place wherein you have those multiple languages in your kitty. You have the upper hand in understanding and expressing different emotions to different languages. With this note, we would like to conclude this session, giving you a promise that we will surely come up with yet another informative and intriguing session, and an imbibing session which will impart a much greater knowledge to you. Thank you so much, guys, for being a part of this show. Thank you so much, ma'am, Jayashree ma'am, for being a part of this small conversation that we just had. It was really nice of you to share your valuable time with us. Looking forward to much more, ma'am.
Yeah, same here. Thank
With
you.
so all right. So with this note, I, Sakshi, the host of the afternoon, would like to sign off, promising to come up with much more interesting sessions like these. Do subscribe our channel, hit the bell icon for more notifications. I shall see you soon.